guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a what I have been warming video for you of what I've been getting through in the last week. Also check out my consultant website. I am Liz Quinn, your certified Scentsy consultant at waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us. So let's get into our bars. And at the end of this video I'm also going to insert a little quick video of the copper cast warmer lit because it is just beautiful, and I got it in a haul last week and showed you guys having it just plugged in, and I showed you the pattern on my face, but this thing is a stunner, so I wanted to include it so that if any of you are thinking about purchasing one, you know what it really looks like set up in a home. So anyway, first set of bars is going to be something very fresh because I was just in the mood the other day. I've been bouncing back and forth between bakery and fresh and floral because it's February and I don't know what in the world I want. So first off, I did Atlantic Air, which is beautiful, and Soothe in alternating warmers, and then in just one warmer I did a Harbor's Edge, but I don't think that I would do that again because the Harbor's Edge just took over everything else that I was melting. So back to Atlantic Air. This is the softest of the three that particular day that I was warming. This has orchid and lots of sea salt air, and it's lovely. But it is very, very light. And there's another one that I didn't choose to melt right now called By the Sea. This one has that touch of orchid. By the Sea is just fresh, salty air and a tiny bit of seagrass. So this one's a little bit more floral. And then with that, I had the new Soothe, which is actually coming out on Monday. They pushed back the release date for the All Is Well bars by a week. So instead we got the Cinderella collection, which is great, but I actually didn't know. I went to go order it myself, even as your consultant, and I was typing it in thinking, where are these bars? And so I looked on my workstation, and sure enough, they chose to bump it back to the 21st. But anyway, Soothe is very similar to Atlantic Air except add driftwood, and I really, really like this bar. I believe I will be putting this in my quarterly club. So then back to Harbor's, whoops, slippery. Back to Harbor's Edge. Harbor's Edge is definitely the strongest of the three. This one, I only put the 2 cubes in my stone leaf warmer on top of my fridge, and that's kind of all I could smell for the first 6 hours. So this is in my club. This is a retired bar, and it has raspberry leaf and like a fern note on top of the sweet laundry-esque salty air quality. So it's got the most layers of the three of these bars, and I think next time I will be melting this with something different that's also powerful because it was a bit of a bully. Anyway, so that was my first trio. And then another day I was just trying to kind of get through things where I had 1 cube left. So I had 1 cube left of Clementine Cupcake, and I had 1 cube left of Cinnamon Buttercream. Now, I will not be repurchasing Cinnamon Buttercream. Didn't end up being a favorite of mine. And to kind of stretch those, I mixed both of them with a little bit of sugar cookie, which I also have in a brick. And it was very, very light. I didn't really even smell it. So although I love Clementine Cupcake, you need more than 1 cube if you want to get anything out of this one. So that day was a bit of a womp, but hey, I have empty clamshells now, right? So then I had a day right about, I think the day after I unpacked my copper cast, where I had gotten more hibiscus pineapple in the mail, and it's so good. And I paired that with red pear and pomegranate, which you can't get anymore. It was a scent of the month for February last year, and I thought it was a shoo-in to make the catalog this spring, but it didn't come back. So this is my last bar. It is nice and tart and bright. It's got the rhubarb, it's got the pear, it's got the pomegranate. I think it's a great scent, especially for this time of the year. It really fits that I don't know what in the world to warm because it's not spring, it's not winter, it's just sort of its own thing, and it's a really nice. So with that, I put hibiscus pineapple, which is one of my all-time favorite spring bars. And this was beautiful. It's a nice medium throw. I put it in my pressed tin warmer. And I also wanted to say that that is called the pressed tin. In my haul last week, I think I got so excited that I forgot to mention that that's what it's called if you wanted to go look for it online. Anyway, it's wonderful. And it had 2 cubes of hibiscus pineapple in it, and it went for 2 straight days just beautifully. So it's got the hibiscus, it's got the mandarin. It's very complimentary to the red pear and pomegranate. And it's just a really solid, lovely bar. So then in the middle of all of that, I did have a day because I'd done a bakery video, like a deep dive into bakery, where I needed some of that bakery I had been talking to you guys about, sort of like standing at the counter at the bakery or the Cheesecake Factory where you see all of the cheesecake and you just need a piece. So I needed some of those bars. I needed to melt them. So I did, what did I do that one day? Oh yeah, I did 3 of the most decadent bakery bars I own, all in different spaces. I put Stroopwafel Delight out here. Oh, this is so good. Lots of butter, a little bit of cinnamon sugar, and all of that, the cookie, the pastry cookie that a Stroopwafel has where the gooey caramel goes in between. This was rich and nutty and decadent and just wonderful. So then in the kitchen, I put in Cozy Chai. And Cozy Chai, if you didn't watch that video, besides Cozy Fireside, which is completely discontinued and I can't get anymore and I should have put it in my club, this is my favorite bar for all year round. It is layers of spice, the creaminess from a latte, and just this wonderful, good performing hug of a bar. And I had looked up the notes the other day just thinking, I wonder if I'm telling people that there's this, this, and this, but scentsy says something else. Well, scentsy says that there's caramel and vanilla in this thing, whereas I get lots and lots of spices. Oh, and they say a little bit of cinnamon. I get a lot of spices and a little bit of sort of a creamy vanilla. I don't even get any caramel, but totally an awesome bar. If it comes back and bring back my bar and you're a spiceaholic or you love bakery that's spicy, please check this out. Okay, and so then the third one is this trio of the best was Toffee Butter Crunch. And oh, is this good? You know, if you go to the mall and you go to the warm pretzel stand, they don't ever have one where they dip the warm pretzel in like a toffee butter, but if they had one of those, this would be that. And so it's got all the gooiness from the toffee. This has a little bit of walnut in it, which grounds it, which is what makes it a longer lasting performer than most of your salted caramel whatchamaholics, you know? So this is so good. Anyway, all 3 of those bars were going in the house and I was just a happy, happy lady. So then there was a day where I needed a palette cleanser after all those rich scents, all of those fresh scents. So I tried one that is newer to me. This has been hanging around in clearance and I think it's still available. This is not like the most exciting packaging on a bar, but man, is this good. And I'm a hard sell on fruity. This was really good. I've only used 2 cubes so far, but it's possible that when they change out the clearance, which will probably happen early March, because they typically wait about a month when the old catalog retires to change all that over, I don't know if this will still be there. So if you were curious about the Muppets and you didn't want to go buy it yourself, this smells like a bowl of fruit cocktail, like the kind that your mom would dump in a bowl and then you'd fish the cherries out and fight with your friends for it. It smells like that plus vanilla. I actually really, really like it, even though, as I said, I'm not a fruity person, so I might get some more of this. All right, so then there was a day where my daughter was doing bakery in her room. So she did 1 cube of churro churro and 1 cube of vanilla bean buttercream. But the problem was the vanilla bean buttercream just totally steamrollered the churro churro and we basically wasted a cube of that, which is too bad because it's only 1 bar in my quarterly club once, you know, like once every 3 months. So sometimes I skip one of my shipments. So word to the wise, don't put something stronger in with churro churro. I mean, apple butter frosting seems to work for Lisa Roberry, the 2 of them together. I should do that, but this just obliterated it. So vanilla bean buttercream is really nice. It's very smooth. It's very strong. Butter and vanilla. It's a good mixer for heavy scents. Like if you wanted to bring cinnamon bear or cedar cider, which I talked about also in my bakery video, or what else? Maybe clove and cinnamon. You wanted to bring those down a notch. This is your bar. But just be careful mixing it with lighter scents because it can be kind of bossy. So then there was a day where I didn't want bakery, I didn't want fresh, I really wanted floral. And the bar that I really, really like in floral is not terribly popular. It's sun-soaked petals. Please don't throw Rotten Tomatoes at me. I like sun-soaked petals, but you can only use a little bit of it. This is so strong that I had 2 cubes left. I put 1 cube on top of the fireplace. I put the other cube on top of the fridge. And in between, I put Lush Gardenia because that is also a reasonably strong bar, but it's much softer, much more romantic of a floral. and it was really, really nice. But this rarely happens to me. I did go and turn off half of my warmers, let the wax in the ones that were going mellow out, and then at the end of the day, I kicked the other warmers back on, and it was really nice, because there was a point where I started to get a headache. I'll admit, even though I love these, I got a headache because it's just so, so strong. So, what's in Sun-Soaked Petals if you're not familiar? Sun-Soaked Petals is daffodil and currant and something called watermint, and I don't know what watermint is, but it is a strong, sharp, almost peppery floral, but it smells like a field of daffodils in the springtime, so I love that. It sends me back to my childhood going to the Tulip Festival in Holland, Michigan. So I really enjoy this. I just have to be very careful not to melt very much of it, and so in a way that's good because it's a lot of bang for your buck. You need 1 cube compared to 2 or 3 of some other bars, and it lasts a good long time. So then I was trying out Lush Gardenia with it because I've had this in the house, but I really haven't done much with it. My older daughter, usually hides this one in her room. And I must say this is growing on me. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or if my sniffer's changing or a combination of the two, but this is really elegant and it's strong, but it's not too strong. I mean, I used too many cubes. I put 1 or 2 cubes in several warmers. I probably only should have put 1 cube in 2 warmers and then 1 cube of Sun-Soaked Petals in 1 warmer and let that go for a while, but you know, live and learn, right? But if you're afraid of florals and you're willing to try a white bloom floral, Lush Gardenia gets a lot more flack than I think it should. It's really quite beautiful. All right, then there was a day where I cooked fish. So you know which bar I reached for. Coconut lemongrass. This one on top of the refrigerator, 2 cubes, because my younger daughter said, "Oh, Mom, you're making salmon. You better go get some coconut lemongrass." Oh, and it's so good. Coconut lemongrass is bright and sunny. It is an emotional pick-me-up for the spring. Right now we have that ugly snow outside. You know, the kind where you just wish it would either snow a lot more or it would all melt because it's just that icky gray. So this was very, very nice, both to banish the fishiness and to give me a little bit of a smile. And it's coconut and lemongrass. That's all that's in it. It is simple, it is straightforward, and it's a really good classic. So then there was one day where I had another kind of bakery craving, a little less decadent than the other day when I did the 3 different really warm, gooey ones. So I wanted sweet plum pastry and I wanted apple butter frosting. So I put apple butter frosting in all the warmers in the front half of the house. Then I put sweet plum pastry in all the back half of the house. And it made the most wonderful scent, kind of mixing and swirling in the dining room because there was a little bit of each in there, I think, in different warmers. And it was so good. And then after I was done with these 2, I thought, you know, there is such a thing as a bumbleberry pie. I wonder if you put these 2 together because bumbleberry pie mixes a lot of berries and apple and spice, and I don't know if there are actual plums in it, but you get the gist. This might be really, really good together as bumbleberry pie a la mode or something like that. So I would encourage you to maybe try that, and if you like it, tell me so I can go and try it myself. But apple butter frosting all by itself. It's just a nice, smooth apple butter with a pinch of spice and all of that warmth and richness from the buttercream. But it's not as bossy to me as vanilla bean buttercream. It's so nice. And then this is an amazing bar by itself mixed with certain things. Sweet plum pastry is bubbly plum juices and crust, and it's just a classic, and it's too bad that this doesn't just stay around in the catalog. You can only get it now and then and to bring back my bar, but it is so good if you love your bakery scents. All right, so I always forget to tell you guys what's going in my bedroom. I just did a Mr. Quinn if you watch that video, but it just goes over my head. So this is Cashmere Pear. This is a lovely bedroom scent. I only have 2 cubes left. I don't have it in my club, so I'll probably melt this one more time and then I'll have to be done with this. But it's ginger, cashmere, and pear, and it is so elegant and restful and relaxing. So I enjoyed that a lot in my bedroom. Okay, what do I have left in here? Oh, yes. I was starting to get down into my melting basket. Atlantic Air and Harbor's Edge were from the melting basket, and I think a couple other things that were in this pile. So Cambridge and Cashmere. Those were both in the melting basket. Now, I did not mix them. I put Cambridge in the front room and I put Cashmere in the back. And it was more of a mild and kind of powdery floral cologne day. But Cambridge is amazing. We haven't had it voted back in quite a few years. This is a masculine scent with smoothness and mellowness and richness. A lot of our masculines are very sharp and they're very cold, or even like Hendrix, they're really warm. This is kind of in the middle. So if we get a chance to vote this one back, and you can see how old my poor bar is, it's been through a lot. This one reminds me of walking in a forest in the summertime, where that carpet of pine needles, you're crunching on those with your boots and it's hot. So it releases these beautiful resinous piney oils that don't smell like a branch. They don't smell like a Christmas evergreen. They smell deeper, almost more like a redwood. And this gives you that plus a little bit of tasteful cologne, and oh my gosh, it's so, so good. So I'm going to need to get some more of that at some point if we ever vote that back. So then cashmere, this was a couple years ago, or maybe 3 years ago in Bring Back My Bar. This is a very powdery old lady, kind of a boudoir floral perfume scent. It's hard to describe because it's a little bit funky in the clam, so you think you're not going to like it. But when you put it in the warmer, oh, it just transforms. And it still very much makes me think of an elegant older woman. This is not a youthful smell, but it's beautiful, especially if you like anything kind of historical. I just love this. So I've got about 2 total bars left, and I usually put it in February or March, and it's just gorgeous. So that's cashmere. It has a little bit of lily of the valley, a lot of that powder, and then a musk, an old lady musk, but boy, is she a sophisticated old lady. Okay, and then last but not least, what I was doing and am doing today. I decided this morning I'm totally into fresh today. So I did Daydream Oasis out here. So that's in my press tin over there. What a beautiful smell. This is so nice. This is the perfect balance between some of the other fresh floral aquatic bars that I like but don't love. So this has, I think, melon and pear leaf and a little bit of kind of a green note. And I just I can't live without this. I think this will go in my club at the end of the season. So then with that, I put Mahalo Coconut, and you guys have heard a lot about Mahalo Coconut lately. This is like at the top of my spring and summer list. So this is violet and coconut and Hawaiian lei and a little bit of pineapple, and it's creamy and light and delicious. It leans more floral than it does fruit, but it's just the best mix. If you could make this into some sort of a tropical smoothie with the cute little umbrella, I would totally drink it. Okay, so then with it, those 2 were going in the front room and the kitchen. I put Sand Swept in the dining room, and I am loving the 3 of these in the different zones mixing together because they're similar enough not to fight each other, but they're different enough to really enjoy. And Sand Swept has improved for my taste. When it first came out, I wasn't sure if I liked wet rocks, but now I think I do. So the sandstone and the sort of on the beach, you can smell the surf, and then there's this, it's almost like they did a movie scene to make this particular bar come to life. Like there's a lemon grove, and it's, wind whispering through the trees, and you get that little bit of citrus. So anyway, that's what you get with this bar, and that's very good. So that is everything I have been getting through, and I'm going to stop the video and give you just a little tiny tour over here on the other side of this room to show you what the copper cast looks like in the daytime, and the thumbnail is it lit up at night. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. I think I'm finally going to get that all my spring summer bars, 2 or 3 different episodes of that to show you my whole collection. And I will be back with you again soon, and have a great day. Bye-bye. So don't mind the doggos lounging around. There's my Kenya. You want to say hi to the people, baby girl? But over here, that's my favorite deer. He just stays there all year. Over here is the copper cast warmer, and this thing is a total stunner at night, guys. So I don't know exactly how well it's going to throw. I put 1 cube of red pear and pomegranate in it last week when I had just gotten it. Oop, don't bump the camera, sweet pea. And I just love this. So if you're at all a fan of metal lace work like this, or you like things that are sort of geometric or almost Indian influenced, I think this would be a great warmer to pick up. And that's all I've got for you. So thank you so much for spending some time with me, and have a great day. Bye-bye.